Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Monday. It's Pip here from queenpipcards.com and the Card Making Know-How membership. Welcome. It's Halloween week, so I thought I would dress up accordingly and give you a little bit of a preview and a little insert into what I've been doing this weekend. Welcome to Leah. Hello. And Sally. And Bev. Oh, you're just about to disembark from your cruise, so you're going to catch up when you're back. Excellent. Oh, smashing. I hope you have a lovely day. Hope you have a marvellous time out. And Sally's on as well. So hello, hello everybody. So I'm going live. This is not like one of my scheduled lives, so I go live once a month. But this is just a special live for you guys out there. Many of you know that I have been up on a crafty weekend away to see Lavinia Stamps, and I thought I would show you my crafty haul, and we would have a bit of fun at making some making a Halloween card. Hey Ange, hello, hello, hello. All right, let's go hands down. Turn my lights on. So, you're wondering, what on earth is that she's got on her table? So, first of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to my friend Jane, who came with us at the weekend. There's me, Jane and Ali, and she showed me how to make a pumpkin. This is a needle felted pumpkin. Isn't that just adorable? I mean, it's not perfect, but it's my first ever needle felted little project, shall we say. So my first needle felting project, and I wanted to make a blue pumpkin, and he made an orange one, and Jane made one that had a one tooth and some eyes and a little smile, so it was so cute. But I'm quite proud of my first ever pumpkin, so that's cool. So there we go. So we did some needle felting while we were there. We didn't actually do we didn't actually do any crafting. You're gonna be like, what? I know, it's shocking. So we arrived really late on the Friday. So a little bit of a backstory here. We arrived late because we were stuck in traffic, and so then we had to get some food and stuff in. So we got some food and stuff in, and then Friday we just sat and we catalogued all our stuff because we had to make sure we knew what we had before we went to Lavinia on the Saturday. And whilst I was there, I also managed to purchase a little gift that I found for myself. I mean, because, you can. Look at this adorable candle holder that I found. Look at this. Look. I found myself a little crown. Isn't that so cute? And actually, I think it's going to become quite handy because I can put a little pot of water in there and just have a tiny amount of water, and it's really heavy, so it's quite solid. Hi, Jackie. Leah says she loves my pumpkin. Jackie says, your pumpkin is fab. Afternoon, Trisha. Lovely to see you too. So I thought this was fantastic. I always look for crowns everywhere I go. They're actually really hard to find, things with crowns on. I don't know what it is, but they are. So if I find anything with a crown, I grab it. So there we go. So I've got my little crown. Anyway, so we missed the whole of Friday, unfortunately, due to traffic jams, road accidents. Thankfully, we weren't involved in any of them, so that was okay. So then I knew what I had, and then we went to start playing. And on the Saturday, we watched some fantastic tutorials. So this is one of the tutorials that we watched. This was by the lovely Amanda, and she let me take this home with me, which is so cool. And this is one of the houses. These are the new release houses that they've got out at the moment. Just amazing. So she showed us how to colour the houses, and that kind of led to a few other purchases. And anyway, let me carry on with what I actually purchased, or at least some of it, because if I do all of it, we'll be here all afternoon. So we're not going to do that because I want to get some crafting in as well. So I'm going to start off with, what shall I start off with? Shall I start off with stamps? We'll start off with stamps. Okay. So I picked up all my little minis that I wanted, okay, because I love these mini stamps. We don't have anything like this in Stampin' Up. And so, you know what, you know me, I love to try and use what I have in my stash. But there are some things which we just don't have. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to get myself some little minis because I like making small cards. You know, I'm an A6 size girl, so I like making cards of this size. And I like making them quickly, so having little stamps that are just ready are just brilliant. Now I'm going to need some of these this afternoon when we do, today, when we do our little bit of creativity. So I'm going to keep those ones to one side. I'm going to put Brian. That's what I call the snail, Brian, obviously. If you know roundabout, you know why. Magic roundabout. Okay, so we got those. Then let me show you the houses. Okay, because we have houses in Stamping Up. Okay, and I've actually done a retreat the other week with all the houses. Don't look at the prices because, you know, it's just scary. But we did a retreat the other week with houses, and they're lovely. I really like the houses that we've got. Where are they? Have I got them here? No, because I still haven't unpacked retreat properly, because that was just the week before I went to Lavinia, so I haven't unpacked it properly. But I love our houses, and in retreat we did a whole set of cards that look like this, using the church and the houses that we have at Stamping Up. Okay, so we did this as one class with another big card as well. So we did 4 of these with all the different houses. So I love our Stamping Up houses. They're great. But these are also quite quirky, and I really love the one that's sitting in the tree. I think this one is just brilliant. So I thought I'm going to buy the houses. These are part of their new release for Christmas. Part of their Christmas release. So I thought, right, I'm going to get that. What else is part of their Christmas release that I got? Let's see if I can find. The holly stamp, the little mini holly, I think is part of it. Or the big holly is. I didn't buy the big holly. Let's have a look. There's something else in here that I've got that is part of it. I'm trying to find it. I think it's this one. I think this one's part of the new release. With the little fairy and the candle. Not 4 candles, just 1 candle. And then, what else? I definitely had another one. Oh yes, the lamppost. That's also part of Christmas. So I didn't buy the whole Christmas set because I didn't want all of it. I didn't like. I'm not going to use the moose as far as I'm aware. But this, I just see this as Narnia, as the Narnia lamppost, and I think that is just brilliant in a tree setting. And then I loved the little fairy with a little candle. That's very Christmassy, so I like that. So we got those. And then what else? I think I'm just going to grab the rest out because it's easier. And we'll just start going through them. And if I find stuff that I've done before, as I say, there's a lot. I did a lot. Okay, so I've done those. That's Christmas, that's Christmas, that's Christmas. Okay. A little pathway, so I can do some paths in the forest. Some little tiny mushrooms and little tiny lanterns. Okay, because that's nice to light the woodland. I bought a spider's web because we're going to do some Halloween stuff. So I wanted a spider's web. We don't have a corner like that. Just some little fillers. Fillers are always handy for stuff. I'm going to keep those out just in case I need them. Some tiny little, what are these called? These are called silhouette foliage. I kind of like the little foliage ones. They're quite nice. Some words. Free your inner creativity. Love that. And then some more words. This is all about we gather on your lawn, and you may sometimes see us as we circle through the flowers, or hear the sweetest music drifting from our sacred bowers. This is all about fairies being around. And then I got the potions, wand cleaner, wing oil, flying potion, glowworms, and fairy dust. Because, you know, what witch doesn't need one of those in her little Halloween boudoir? So I've got some of those. Some little ferns, they're quite dinky. Some more words. I'm going to keep those ones out, I think. A little fairy with a little light. I love this little cap on her head. It's just adorable. Some little bumblebees, because we love bumblebees. Now, this is a retired one, or retiring one, but I love the little wand that she's got at the end of that. So that's quite cute. I love these little sort of swirly things, just to add interest to a card border. Some bubbles. Some more words. The clouds aligned with silver, as often we are told. I give you this, my heartfelt wish, that yours be lined with gold. I just thought that was really nice. That's really nice. 3 mushrooms, because you know me and mushrooms. And I must have talked about mushrooms an awful lot. I must have talked about mushrooms an awful lot when I was with them. I have to say, Tracy and Anya and all the guys there were amazing. And I was really lucky. I got a free gift. And I got a free gift of a exclusive Tracey Dutton designed mug. And I got the one with mushrooms on it. Now, I don't know if that was done intentionally, if they'd worked that, you know, if they said, if maybe because I'd had a conversation with several conversations with Tracy, you know, I don't know, maybe she went and said to Anya, just pop her a mug in and make sure it's a mushroom one. I don't know. Or whether it was just a happy accident. It was probably a happy accident. But to be honest, isn't it just adorable? And isn't it perfect for me? So I've got my mug. Every dream begins with a wish. And there's my little mushroom mug. And it's got a little mushroom on the inside as well. Look, see? Oh, hide that because it's shiny bright. See the little mug, the mushroom there? Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm going to be using my mug, as most of the people there do, storing my brushes in at the moment. Just today. I don't know where else I can probably put it. I'm going to find somewhere to put it up on my shelf behind me, but I do like the idea of having a beautiful mushroom mug to use. That's great. So I've got mushrooms. I've got mushrooms with houses in. Home is where the heart is. Love you to the moon and back. Great words. And then some Christmas sparkly baubles and some, what are these called? Hanging lanterns. I just liked the shape of them. I thought they were cute. So there we go. So that was my stamp haul. So hi Ali. She says hi. I absolutely love Lavinia stamps. Yes, I know, they're gorgeous. He could only be a Brian, says Jackie. Yes. Jackie likes the house stamps, and Leah says, I love the stamps, I need to go shopping. Yes, well, the good thing is that Lavinia is available worldwide, so that's good. And I don't earn commission or anything like that from them. I'm just showing you because I like them. Got some nice grey circular cards. I thought I'd give that a try. That's always a good thing to try. I picked up their circle masks because they match with their moon shape, which we're going to be using today. I also picked up some words. So you'll have seen me, I picked up some words from Poppy Stencils as well in September. And these ones I've picked up some more sentiment stickers. Again, because we don't really have anything like these words in Stampin' Up. And they don't have any stamps like this. Lavinia doesn't really do lots of word stamps. They have a few, some of which I've shown you, but they don't really have lots of word stamps. So they do stickers instead. So I thought I'd get some of those. I got some more stencils. Look at these. Aren't these lovely? So I thought this would go really nicely with our brick embossing folder that Stampin' Up has. And this one is like just pebbles or sea or just something kind of nice and mystical like that. So that's our stencils. Put those down there. And then, what shall I show you next? Okay, so let me show you this card first. So, this is a card I made in the membership for my members last month. No, not last month. This month. This month, because we're still doing fun folds in the membership this month. It's October until the end of this week. So this was one of the cards that I made at Stampin' Chat not last weekend or the weekend, 2 weeks ago, 2 weekends ago, or even 3 weekends ago now, I don't know. And I loved it, and I've used my Poscas, and I've used various other bits on it, and some beautiful inks and our dyes and all that kind of stuff. But I also like the idea of having some pencils that work on top of things. So one of the things that I was very keen to find when I went to Lavinia was what pencils they particularly like for things. And I sat and watched a lady called Emma Jo, and she used some pencils and she called them this name, and I went, what were those Mandalorian type pencils that you were talking about? Which became a standing joke of the weekend, because they're not Mandalorian at all. They're called Mondeluz, but it was close enough, right? So I've treated myself. This is a big purchase, so don't go and do this unless you really know that you're going to want to buy some pencils. But I've bought these, they're Kohinoor pencils, which is a fantastic make. And yes, we have Stampin' Up watercolour pencils. And yes, I love the fact that they coordinate the colours. But these are a softer watercolour pencil. And I really wanted the softness. And they are also opaque enough to go on top of other colours. And I really wanted that as well. So I'll show you a bit about that later on, because we're going to need to use them a little bit later. So we'll do a bit of that later. I'm going to put them back for the minute in here. The only thing I didn't like was it didn't come in a case. So now I'm on the lookout for a case. What else did I get? I got some brushes. I got some more brushes, always handy. So, and another jelly roll pen. A couple of jelly roll pens, in fact, because again, they're always handy. Now, you know me, I love our blending brushes. I have them here and we'll be using them today. But I also want, I also like some, how they work some of the time, these ones. And I love my little, I love my little one very much, because we don't have anything this delicate with Stampin' Up. So I got myself another couple of those. So got lots of brushes, which is great. And then I found some stickles again, because I don't know what happened to my stickles. I think they all got clogged up and I threw them all away because they all got like really mucky and nasty and horrible. I haven't had these for years. We used to do one like this with Stampin' Up, and then they don't do it anymore. It's very frustrating. Anyway, so I got obviously the obligatory purple. I couldn't find a nice pink, so I'll have to look for that somewhere else. And then a beautiful green and some just silver and plain, because I like that. So I got those because, we all love a bit of sparkle. And then I've also got some of these pan pastels. I'd already got this one, and I got these two, a coarse one and then a gold one. So we're going to be playing with pan pastels in the membership. And then I also picked up some of these, which are just fantastic colours. And again, we might play a little bit with that today. I don't know. We'll see how things go. But yes, so, and a few other bits. And so a few other bits which I am going to be saving for my members. So that will all become seen inside the membership. So if you want to see what else I bought, you're going to have to come and join the membership, which at the moment is on a waiting list. So just come along, join the waiting list, and then we'll let you in. Okay. But for today, what I wanted to do was create a Halloween card. So this is like a Christmas version using the Stampin' Up, and I wanted to create a Halloween version using some Lavinia, because I think it's nice to see, how different things come along. So I've got a piece of cardstock here, which is just the size of the front of your card. Okay, so I'm going to cover the whole thing. I'm going to put it on a blue base, and this is a Night of Navy. I'm going to put it on a blue base, but I want it to be completely covered, because I'm going to do quite a lot of dark inking and stuff like that because it's Halloween. But if you put it on a blue background or a black background, then if you haven't cut it quite right, it doesn't matter because it won't show. Hello Jane. Yes, she likes the haul. Angie says the purple looks great. Yes, of course. We like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to do a Halloween card. So I need my these are ones I already had. My bats. I like my bats. Maybe a moon. Let's have a look. What else do I want? My spider's web corner. I need the house. Where's the house? What's the houses again? Now, I only want to do one of the houses. Which house shall I do? I'm going to do this house. Okay? And then I'll work out what other things I need as we go through. But we'll start with these. Okay, so I'm going to put some scratch paper down. I'm using plain, so it's not as funny on your eyes. And the first thing, I know roughly where I'm going to be positioning things. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the moon down, because that I don't really want to. I want to make sure that that doesn't get too covered by the blending, because the moon should, you know, show, the moon should stay nice and bright, shouldn't it, right? Okay. And my first part of the moon, I'm going to use a Distress Oxide called Lost Shadow, just to put it in very lightly and see what it looks like. It's almost, that's almost an opaque on opaque. I think this might be too bright for this at the moment. We'll see. Put my moon in there. Yeah, that'll do. And then I'm going to go in with my Versifying Clair. Now I need to clean this off. And because it's a pigment, because it's an oxide, I'm going to use my cloth to start off with. And then go in and clean it properly. And the good thing is that, you know, like your scrubs and everything, they all work with everything. So you don't need to worry about that. Is it nice? Although I have to say, we had a little bit of a shock when we went. Some of the girls are very messy. Just going to say they're very messy. Okay, so now we've got the moon, and I'm just popping on. I don't know that I want it quite so dark, so I might stamp it off and see. I'm going to turn it so that we get two sides of the moon, and then try and work out where the other bit is. Oh, it's white on white, so it's quite hard to see. We'll try that and see how we go. There we go. They're quite messy. Like all their stamps are just, oh, that's not too bad at all. It's kind of like a bit, ooh, not quite there, not quite, not there. Okay, and then I'm going to do my backgrounds. So I want some nice luminosity behind, so I'm going to go with my Daffodil Delight. Get right, come on, Pip. I know what you're talking about. Now you could put masking paper down, or you could use the mask, acetate mask that works. So I'm going to take one of these, and I'm going to use the. Is that too big? That's too big. It's the one that fits the moon. It's too small. Where did I put it? I put it somewhere. Hold on. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, I've got this in here. This is the one I made earlier. And that just about fits there, across there. So we're just going to layer that down, okay? Just to get it out of the way, really. And then we're going to go with our nice yellow blending brush, because even though it's a moonlit night, we're going to have a nice bright yellow glow around the back, okay? So I'm just going to see how this goes, and we're going to go in here. And so just going to have some nice colour coming in, and we'll just blend this around. Hopefully I'm not shaking the camera too much, and it's all okay. You can see what we're doing. Okay, so put this in here. So this is just a dye-based ink. It's a Stampin' Up ink. You could also use Elements if you have the Lavinia inks. So you can use those as well. They're pretty much identical because they're dye-based, so, you know, that all works well. Okay, so we're going to bring that in there like that. Excellent. Okay, and you can do, you know, do more than you think you're going to need. You could, that's my view. Do more than you think you're going to need. Okay, so now we've got the moon. I think the moon can still have a little bit of a yellow shadow, so I'm just going to give that a little bit of a yellow going over, but not too much. Okay, we still want it to be quite light. All right, so that's that. And then I want to do my house. Yeah, so Alison was having slight palpitations when she saw how people were keeping their stamps. One of the girls, Lisa, had her stamps just literally thrown in a box. Not even in the packets. Literally just, you know, like this, just chucked in a box together. Alison was definitely not working well with that. I was doing much better because at the end of the day, that's how they like to keep it. That's up to them. Personally, no, not for me. I will have mine organised and in their packets and sorted so I know what's what. But hey ho, they like to do that, so that's fine. Bye, mummy. Okay, so our house is going to come over just slightly over the moon here, like so. Make sure it's straight to the bottom. There we go. And now you're saying, oh, but the house is yellow. It's all yellow. It's like, yeah, it is at the minute, but don't worry. Bear with. Okay, so give that a good firm press. Nice. Isn't that adorable? Okay, so that's our house. And then what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to bring in the edges and add some foliage. It's like the house is in the woods. Okay, and we also want to have the bats going around, so let's see what we can do. I'm not going to need the house again, so I can take the house off, put it back on your thing so you know where it is and don't lose it. And then I always try and put them back in the packets so I know which is which. I'm going to come up with a better way of organising these. At the moment I'm using my clear Stampin' Up stamp cases because they seem to work quite nicely. So then we've got our house. So this technically is a Christmas house, right? And I wanted to show you that it doesn't have to be a Christmas house. You could easily use it as a Halloween house if you wanted to. So I think we're going to have the bats coming out of the house. Coming out of the house and across the moon a bit like that, I think. Yeah, they'll go across the moon, and because the moon is not quite as dark, then it'll look great. Bats coming out like this from behind the house, like so. Now, I'm going to have to go and reach for my heat gun because you do need to, this is pigment ink, so you do really need to make sure that your ink is dry before you do too much blending over the top of it, because otherwise it will smush and merge because it's pigment, it's not water based. So we can do a little bit to start off with while it dries off a little bit, and then we'll see how we go. But we might need to get my heat tool in for a bit of that. How are you doing? Are you all following along so far? You've all gone very quiet on me. I'm hoping you're okay. Please let me know that you're watching along and enjoying. What do you think of these stamps? You like them? I'll clean my moon off as well because I don't need to do that while you're all chatting away to me, hopefully. I can just see so many different ideas and things that I want to use these for. And I think the important thing is that sometimes when you watch things on Tinternet and stuff like that, I've lost my moon. Where's my moon? There it is. Just busy watching, says Sally. Tricia says, yeah, good, thanks, I love them. Yes, I know you love, I know how much you love Lavinia. Now, where's that gone? Where's my moon gone? I get it back on its thingy, but it didn't really matter as long as it's on. There we go. You know, sometimes you look at things, you watch stuff and you think, right, I can only make that with it. That's all I can make with that. So that's what I'll buy it for, and I'll make that one card. And then you think, now what am I going to do with my, you know, now what am I going to do with it? What do I do now? So I think it's important that you see different usage for things and see how you can use things differently. Good, you're enjoying. That's okay then. All right, so I've got my green blending brush. I'm going to be coming in from the side with some of this whilst we wait for the rest of the colours to dry, the pigment ink to dry. We'll sort of finish it off in a minute. So we're going to come in here. I'm just going to add green pretty much all the way around. We need to stamp that house on something in a minute, so we'll do that too. Bring this in. And I think the important thing is that you don't really need to worry too much about your blending at this point, because it's all going to come together in the end. So just bring some of this in. And this is a very green card for me, but you know, it's Halloween, so we'll bring a bit of green in. And we'll bring a bit of that, like so. Not too much over the moon. I kind of want to keep the moon kind of clean, so we'll put this back over the moon. I'll have a little bit of a green tinge, and then that's about it really, because the moon should still shine brightly behind there. Okay, all right, not so bad. Let's put some border in here for the minute. Not border. What's the word I'm looking for? Now you're using my favourite new ink I'm using on my Christmas cards. Okay, oh, Mossy Meadow. Yes, Mossy Meadow is lovely, isn't it? Just so gorgeous. Right, so these are just some layers. I don't want anything. They're just hill masks, okay, which I already had. So we don't need it to be particularly on a hill, but I quite like it here. And we're going to do underneath the house first. Okay, that's where we need to do a bit of, because it needs to sit on something, right? And what I might do is just add a little bit more dark to that. So I'll classify out one of my little brushes. And this is why I like these little brushes, because with the big brushes, you know, you get great coverage, you can do large swathes, but with the little brushes, you can just come in and do a really tiny amount, like this. Hopefully you can see this. I'm coming in just under here, just to add a bit of shadow for where the house is sitting. Okay, and when you take that off, now your house is actually sitting on something, because it's kind of good if it sits on something, right? And if you wanted to, you could add some more green and bring in some. You don't really need a lot. I'm not adding much to my brush, but it's still having some effect. And you could even make a little bit of a darker one if you wanted to. It doesn't all have to be green. There we go. So now we're kind of getting a little bit of a setting going on there. All right, so I do like this acidy green. What an acidy green? I had an acidy green brush. Brushes. Oh. Yeah, I have a lot of brushes. This is the other mug I use, keeping my brushes in. This one's cute, it's got all shoes all over it, it's very nice. Which I think was a gift from Jane, to be honest. So thank you, Jane, I use that all the time. But no, I haven't got any other green brushes, so it must be here somewhere then in that case. Can't find it. Okay, let's use a new one then. Let's use one of these. And I'm going to bring in some of this avocado. See what this looks like. Now this is pigment going on top of dye-based, water-based, but that's okay because you can do that. So we'll just bring in a little touch of pigment here. I want it to come down here a bit. There we go. Merge that in. Just want a little bit more. So you have a little bit more control with these brushes of where you're actually positioning it, where you want it to go. But it means they do react differently when you add water and stuff like that, because they're pigment versus, like, water won't react with pigment inks the same way as it does, not unless they're dioxides. It won't react the same. So we'll just bring in, I'm just thinking about where I want to have some different colours, so we're just going to bring a little bit of that green in here. I'm going to put my mask back roughly over my moon. Make sure that we don't... And these might start to merge with the other pigments, with the other VersaFine, because they blend with other VersaFine colours, obviously, because they're VersaFine. So we just need to be careful it doesn't blend too much with the black. Okay, that just gives a little bit of a different colour, a little bit more vibrancy on there. And then Leah says she likes how I use stamps in many different ways. Yes, I try to, so that you can see the versatility. Now this is, look at the colour of that. That is amazing, isn't it? Oh, that's a lovely orange. And now again, this is a pigment ink, so again it will react slightly differently. So I'm going to be quite gentle with this. Just do a little bit of a glow. A little bit of a glow around the moon. Come in here. Oops. Stay. Bit of a glow coming in around the moon with the orange, I think. I love that colour there, that's great. Bring a little bit in here. Just a little bit, just a little bit, adding just a little bit of different colour, maybe a little bit of orange down here. So I can't get quite so precise in where I want to put it with these brushes as I can with the others, but I still like them. Let's just put that in there. Okay, so this is all very lovely. We've got our house, it's standing on things. It's looking a bit lonely, and it isn't really, it's not really contained, okay? So to make it contained, we need to bring it in. We need to make it darker on the outsides. So I'm going to go back with my Mossy Meadow. And let's add some more. Let's add a lot more. We're bringing the dark in now to the corners. Here we go. Put my mask back over my moon. Just want to make sure. Now I could use masking paper, to be honest. Yeah, to make it really stick and me not having to keep remembering to move it. But, you know, we'll go with this for now. Bring some of that in. Like that. And I'll do the same. I'm thinking where I want my... This is where I'm going to be putting my cobwebs. So we're going to make the cobwebby corners quite dark. Obviously, because they're cobwebby. I'll bring that in. But also, I just want it to be a bit more... Just a bit darker, really, because it's for Halloween. Oops, I'm getting a few lines coming up here. Don't worry about those. Caught the edge of my brush there. That's okay. Okay. Bring this in here. A little darker. Like so. Okay, so now we've got that quite a lot darker. I've got a few splotchy bits in there, but don't worry, we'll hide those with some things. And then we're going to make the whole thing very much darker. And bring in the black. Especially for a spooky Halloween card, a bit of black never goes amiss. Okay. And put this down here. And really bring in the outside. And again, I'm using my brush here, but I will start to bring in from using the other brush as well. in a moment. But this does quite a good job of laying down an initial colour. So far it's kind of getting spooky a bit, isn't it? And a little bit spooky. Can't believe it's Halloween this week. It's gone so fast. The whole month of October seems to have just vanished in a flash. I'm not really sure where it went. Okay, so we've got that bit in now, and now I want to bring it in, but a little bit more controlled. That's wispy. And wispy you can do nicely with these brushes. Actually, I don't mind if I do a bit of wispy over this. Let's tone that moon down a smidge. And it's supposed to be dark and moody, isn't it? Right, so make this dark and moody. See, I'm getting a bit mucky now. There's nothing you can't really do this without getting mucky when you're working with blending. Especially not with pigment inks, because they don't dry quickly, so they're going to stay on your fingers a while. They're going to stay on the card a while. So you just have to get used to the fact you're going to be a bit muckier. And just live with that. That's okay. Alright. So we'll add a bit more down here. Okay, so we're now looking pretty dark. Can you wash the brushes after you've used them? These ones, all of them you can, but I don't bother. I just use them. So like this will now be my black, dark blue or grey brush. This one is my red and yellow red and orangey brush. So these all stay kind of like yellows, oranges, black. So you do need a few just to, get them into the colour family or the range of colours. But you don't need too many, because you could just do one blue, one pink, one purple, one red, one yellow. Do you know what I mean? So I've got a pink one, a green. So now I've got pink, green and black. And then I've got the little brushes. I've still got 2 clean ones of those. And then I've got a dark one. So I could use these for pinks and purples or blues or something like that. I probably need a couple more, but I won't buy masses more, because you just don't need them, I don't think. Unless you want to do one per colour, and then it's like 50 odd brushes or whatever, which is a bit OTT. Late as usual, sorry, love the crown. Oh, thanks, Lynn. Excellent. Okay, so Lynn is watching on... I don't know what time she's up to at this point, but we'll see how she goes. She might catch up with us in a minute. Okay, so we've got this. We've got it sitting on a hill. Now that that's gone so much darker, we can probably add a bit more dark to it. Because when you do your shadows to start off with, it looks really dark. And then as you start to darken the rest of the card up, it looks a bit light again, doesn't it? So we'll just make that a little dark. And you think, oh no, Pip, that's really dark. Yeah, I know. We'll get there. We can blend. We can blend. It's going to have other dark stuff around it, so it won't look quite so dark in a minute, so don't panic. Okay? Alright, so we'll put that there. We've got a nice shadow going on for the house. Okay, so now we're going to put some more stamps on. First of all, I want to put my corner. We're going to do our corners. This is what's really going to make it look... I mean, it kind of looks Halloween-y already because of the bats and the moon and all that kind of jazz. But now we're going to add on our spooky corners. So, where's my big block? And you do need a big block for these. Some of them are so big that you can only really use them on your Stamparatus. or your you know, stamping platform, whichever one you've got. Obviously, because you can't get the stamp presses anymore, sadly. But you know, you might have the Misty, or you might have the Tim Holtz, or whatever, Sizzix, or whatever. How are we doing? Okay, can't see because I need to put my head under the camera. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to put our web down like so. Oh, look at that! Isn't that glorious? And then we'll stamp this up again. And then we'll see how much of a web we want to do over here. Oh, we can probably get most of it in, if I'm honest. Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay, I can probably do most of the same. You don't have to do the same. You can do it a bit smaller up at the top if you wanted to. I quite like that. That's looking good. So now see, that's really focusing it in, bringing the theme to life, as it were. So cleaning. Yeah, you can get brush cleaner if you want, but I don't really see the point, to be honest. Because a little bit of another colour doesn't really harm it in any way, shape or form. And it's just going to get blended in anyway, so that's fine. I'll put this back in. See, I definitely need a new way of storing these, but this is annoying. It just annoys me, these little packets. Sorry, Lavinia, these annoy me. But, you know, I can see why they do it, so we'll do that. I'll get rid of the moon, don't need the moon, don't need that anymore, don't need that anymore. Right, okay, so now we're going to start with some side decorations. I haven't even finished with so many more things to do. What else can we use on this? There we go. Ferns, maybe. Right, we'll see. Okay, so if we wanted to, if we had room, and I think we do have a little bit of room, I just want to add some more sort of, oops, oh dear, careful you don't smudge that all over your card. That's not a good plan. I think I'm going to bring the branch in just at the top here, to sort of add a little bit of branchiness to it. So again, you don't need to do the whole thing, but we can just sort of add a few branches coming in there. And again, you don't even have to do it full strength, it can be half strength. We'll just add a few more branches with the bats going behind the branches. And even add, I might even add one in about there-ish. We can do some second generation, third generation branches. Okay, so that's that. And then we could bring a little bit of a branching coming in this as well on the other side. There we go. Just so we've got a little bit of a stuff happening behind the scenes, behind the cobwebs. It's not just the cobwebs on its own. Put in some down here. So, okay, some spooky branches going on in there. There we go. All right, so that's that. And then Jane says, "You know me, I'm a messy crafter." Yes, Jane, I know. So you don't want cleaners, that's for sure. Ali says, "I use some open-ended plastic pockets for storing mine in from Amazon." Yeah, that I think I'm going to get some pockets. Even Alison and I were thinking of using the Stampin' Up little albums as well. We're going to have a look at that, see if they work. And I've also got some of the stamp cases, because I think they'll look good in those as well. So it's just a matter of working out what I like best to use, and then we'll go from there. And of course, I will let everybody know what I'm using in the membership, because it will go in under my organisation thing. Technical term. That's organisation masterclass for everyone else. Right, so I'm going to put those back in there so I know where they came from. And then I've got all these leaves, so I want to use some of these leaves. But these leaves don't always have to be black, so we're going to add a little bit of different colours in here as well. So this is, oh, what am I using now? This one's the silver leaves. This one is the forest leaves. Got a lot of leaves going on. I'll try and put the thing back because I'm never going to know which one's which unless I put the little sleevey things back in the pockets. Then I'll get very confused. So that's that, that's that. And this one is river leaves. So let's have a whole multitude of leaves going on. And for these, I'm going to use the mossy meadow so that we have some green and some black going on. Now, I don't want to put too many leaves over where the spider's webs are, but I do want to have... Oh, that's a frond. That's not a leaf, that's a frond. Leaves. Well, let's do some fronds. Let's do some fronds coming out here. Just add a few of these coming down here. In the green. I do like them in the green. I think it just adds something if you have them not in the black. So, can we see here well enough? And it doesn't matter that you're going on top of the spider's web, because the spider's web is still the spider's web, so you can still see that. Okay, with those. Now these are branches, so these ones I'm going to do in black. We'll have a little bit of thinner branches coming in to dangle maybe from some of these other branches. So we're just extending the trees in now. So we'll bring that one in from there, like so. So now we've got a little bit more coming in towards the centre of the card. And we'll stick some over here. Okay, now we've got our branches. Now we can add some leaves to those branches. So we can just add, see what they look like stamped off. Because they're kind of collections. They're not actually leaves that you're just attaching to anything. So we'll just put them in as a sort of a random background pattern. Just have them behind the scenes. Then we've got these ones, which is slightly different again. Okay, so coming in here, like so. Maybe a few down here. Okay, that's kind of cool. And then I think I might just do a few black ones. No, that's green pip. Ali says, I almost have as many Lavinia as SU. That's quite a few. Yeah. Trisha says, I'm using a tin to put my Lavinia stamps in. That's good. Jane says her woodware collection is as big as a stamp shop. Yes, yours are as big as a stamp shop, I have to say. Okay, I'm going to put a bit of these in here. These ones are sort of coming down out of the trees. I like how these are coming in. I don't want them too carefully attached. I'll just do these in the corners. Yeah, they're a bit too dark coming in. So we might just do a few stamped off. There we go. Bring some down here, just Just sort of giving an edge, really. Oops, stuck my finger in it. And we could just have a couple of leaves at the bottom here, just hanging out. So, okay. So now we've got these. So, okay. So that's not looking too bad. Bit gloomy. That's okay. Jane says she never does the overall edge darkening until she's finished the rest. Well, everybody works their own way, and I might still add a bit more. It just depends on how dark I want it to go. I find that if I start, I can see where I'm going with it, and then I can see if I need a bit more, because you can't take it away once you've added it. So I like to add a bit, see how we go, and then add a bit more. But everybody works differently, you know. Same with colouring in. I'm going to do all my colouring in now at the end. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just finish off with some mushrooms, toadstools, maybe a couple of lanterns. So I'm going to get some more blocks, because I think, you know, it's a witchy house, it deserves to have a few mushrooms around it. We'll see how that looks. A small one. That's a bit big for a small one. Need one of these again. Okay. But see, you can. It's just a question of building things up, and it's always going to look a bit pants, if I'm being completely honest. As you're going away, as you're going through, it's the last finishing touches you add that actually make all the difference to your stamping. So, and to your cards. I'm going to put one on this end and one on this end, and hopefully I won't overstamp them. They're my little lanterns. And then I can probably do this one on one of these. Yep. And then I think I need a bigger one for this though. Okay, I'm just finishing off these. Ben says all the stamps from their cases, I'd lose track if they weren't. No, I know. I have to keep them. That's why I'm thinking I'm going to have to put these in cases of some variety, or pouches or something, because otherwise I'm going to lose track. Okay, so now I'd like to have, kind of like to have a little lantern somewhere around there-ish. So I'm not sure if I want to use the second lantern, but I want to use, that doesn't look very, oh, it's swinging. Is it swinging? I think I might have tweaked the end. Okay, so we'll just have a little bit of a lantern coming in here, like so, and then we're going to start with some mushrooms coming in. These ones coming in down here. It's a little large for that, so I'm going to bring that down there. I love this little cluster as well. I want this cluster somewhere. I'll just put that little cluster in there. There we go. So we've got a few mushrooms coming in now. I'll put that one also down there. Even though you really can't see them, it's just adding a little something. Now, I'll put a mushroom coming in here to hide that little smush just there. And I'm going to pop a little leaf down there to hide that little whoopsie down there. So put this in green, I think, with these little ones here. There we go. Now that little whoopsie's disappeared, nobody knew it was even there. Okay, so that's that. And I don't think I actually need any more than that. I think that's now looking okay. Tempted to add a smidgy of yellow on our moon. It's not got enough yellow in the moon, I feel. So just add a bit more of that. Just a little bit more. There we go. It was just a bit too white. There we go. So bring that in there. Okay, now I'm going to clear up for a second because I need to bring my pencils in and you can't see anything if I... And I'm going to get rid of my messy stuff because I think I'm pretty much done with messy. Now we're just going to go colouring and finishing off. Oh, how am I doing? Oh my goodness, I've gone on an hour. Mind you, the first half was just showing you what I bought, so this might go on a smidge longer than normal, but you don't mind, do you? Do you mind? Mind if this goes on a little bit longer than normal? Or are you okay? If you're on replay, you can always have me on at double speed or something. Right, so let's just pop a little bit more black around the edge. Now, I didn't buy a spider, and there was a reason for that. Is because, although my husband loves spiders, I know lots of people don't. And whilst a cobweb is hard enough, sometimes a spider is just a bit too much. So we won't do that to you. I won't put a little spider in the middle of the spider's web, even though I think it would look fantastic with a little spider in there. Anyway, we'll move on from there so you don't have to panic. Okay. Now I do have all the witches, so I could have put some of the witches in here, but I just thought actually we'll just leave it with the Halloween house. And we'll go from there. Just wondering if I need another mushroom or two. Just wondering if, where's the really little ones here? I'll just pop another couple down here. Just to add a little bit there. See if I can bring some in there. And then they need a little bit of grounding, so I'll just ground those. A little bit of grounding for them. Because you need to ground all your... You need to ground everything that's standing in the middle of a... Everything that's standing in the middle of nowhere, like these are, you do need to ground them in. Otherwise they look like they're just floating. And, you know, they're not floating. They're on a little bit of a hill, so that's okay. And we can have a little bit more of a hill coming in under here. Okay. And these here just need a little touch underneath them as well. So they're standing on a little bit of a hillock. There we go. And then they don't look like they're just floating in the middle of nowhere. Because, funnily enough, mushrooms don't just float in the middle of nowhere. Oh, bye, Leah. I have to go to early voting. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Go for it. Everyone's got to vote. It's all very important. And Tricia says she loves. Not at all. Not at all? Okay, good. Okay. So, you don't mind if I go on a little bit late. It's good. Right. Okay, so now we've got a few more hills and a little bit more grounding to those. That makes it a little bit better. I feel better now that they're grounded. Otherwise they're just sort of hovering. And, you know, whilst maybe the witch has made them hover, I haven't, so let's do that for now. Okay, let's take these away. I need a drink. And then we'll just get rid of that messy sheet. There we go. Now it looks a bit better when you haven't got the messy sheet behind it, doesn't it? Okay, so now we'll get the pencils out and we'll start colouring in our house. Because that should be nice and dry now. So they come in trays like this. Okay. And I'm going to go for Let's have a red. Bit of a red house. Maybe a black for some shadows in case we need that. We've already got a bit of yellow going on there, so let's not try and fight that. What could we go with there? An orange. Maybe an orange. But you want it to sort of blend in with the... Look at these. I mean, they're gorgeous, aren't they? Maybe a nice bright springy green colour. That's nice. Definitely do a bit of that, I feel. Or maybe, yeah, maybe this one. This one's a bit better, I think. And then we've got some browns. I need a bit of a brown, I feel, for its roof, etc. Okay, so we'll do these ones to start off with. If I need more, I can always go and grab them. Oops, scrapey. And I'm just going to use these dry. I'm not going to make them too wet at this point. I'm just going to use them to colour. So let's make this. Let's bring some red in. And see how beautifully that's going straight over the yellow that was there before. But it's not hiding the black, which is nice. So we're still getting the stamping. The stamping's still there. But but it's going straight over that yellow. It's so soft. And if you want to, you can learn this from Emma Jo. You can go on the side and give it a bit of a sideways. This gives it a little less harsher line. On the bit that you'll not see here, it's a bit less harsh, so it's a bit more blendy in. I quite like that look. I want to go pretty much all over this. Might leave a little bit of yellow in the middle just for some highlight. I'll kind of come in on both sides, I think. Okay. We can add a bit more dark into the eaves. Up here. Okay, I'm going to make the brickwork brown. These little bits of bricky kind of thing going over here. I don't know what these are called. I'm sure they have a technical name. I've got no idea what they're going to be called, so I'm just going to call them bricky things. Lintels. Definitely the top one is a lintel, I'm guessing. Do I have, Annie says, do you have more Lavinia Stamp tutorials planned or already shared? I do. I have an entire masterclass up in my membership. In my Confident Card Maker, I have five or six or seven tutorials with Lavinia and combo stuff. And I also have a, I'm going to make the wood there. I'm going to have the door made of wood. There we go. So it's going to be brown. I have more planned, obviously, because I've got a whole bunch of new stamps. And we also have a guest expert, one of the design team for Lavinia, also in the membership, who has given us an exclusive video. She's like she's not on the permanent design team, but she does. She's done spots for them before. So yeah, that's all up in the membership. And then this way, we're going to go this way, just so that we follow the grain of the wood. All right. And then let's put a little bit of brightness coming in here. Oh, it's gone over a little bit. Just have a little bit of green Not too much, just so it looks a bit different. And then maybe we have this cross beam here in green. And I'm thinking the thatch is probably green. I mean, not green, rather. The thatch is probably kind of a straw colour. So I might just paint these bits green in here. There we go. And if you need to be very delicate with it, this is where you can use a little bit of water and a very delicate paintbrush to just tease that green into the corners, because it is of course watercolour pencil, so you can manoeuvre it to manipulate it. Like so. That looks good. All right. So now I think the shading's okay actually, because we've got shading coming in from the black dots. So I don't think we need any more shading there. Just going to make this a little bit more, it's not completely obvious, it's not completely like just yellow in the middle. There we go. A little bit like that. I think that's fine. What should we do? Should we have a chimney that's, maybe a chimney that's a different colour? I feel like we need a bit of, like I can put a bit more sort of strawy colour on the roof, and that'll kind of blend in, I think, because we need that colour there to be whole rather than just what's the same colour as behind. So we'll make that all of one, and this one is going up and over the, it's going over the pigment for a bit, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, and we can do the same down here, so we're getting a bit more definition down here, like so. And then I'm going to go for like a silvery colour, I think, for the chimney. And again, we can use it, leave a little bit of the light on it, just as a shine, a bit of a shine. There we go. So that's coloured in our little house. Oh, I wanted a yellow for the lamp. Let's get a yellow for the lamp. A nice bright yellow for the lamp. Let's try this one. Yeah, so if you're not in the membership and you want to be in the membership, then you can just jump in and join the waiting list here. Well, I'm just getting my colours out. So you can join the waiting list, and it will be opening shortly now that everybody's pretty much into the new hub and enjoying the new hub. That seems to be going pretty well, so that's good. Make this lantern just a little bit more yellow. Look at that, straight over the top of the green, and it makes it yellow. It's great. I might even do some of these, you know, like a little bit of light. That's a bit heavy. I'll have to, yeah, just sort of brush a little bit around here like this. Okay. I'm going to use a bit of water on that and just mix that back in, but it's the right colour. So I have one of my aqua water painter thingies. It's got water in it, so that's good. Squeezing that out a little bit. Squeeze it away from your thing so it doesn't go everywhere. Okay. Oops, don't need too much of it. Just want to smooth this watercolour here a little bit, and that has gone fantastic. Look at that, lovely. Just smooth it in. Excellent. Oh, it's taking a little bit of my other bit off, but that's okay. Okay. Perfect. that's gone very nicely. So for some final touches, I think really all we need is a little bit of sparkle, a bit of sparkly stuff going on. So I'm going to get got my jelly rolls, my gold and my white jelly roll, and I've got my gold Posca pen. So let's have a look. I always like to put a few little white sort of highlights on the sides where the lantern's hitting the mushrooms. So it's hitting them on this side for this one, that one for that one, this one for this one, that one here, and then probably a little bit kind of over the top here for this one, that one, down here. This one's definitely going to have it on this side, just a tiny touch. Just needs a little bit to just give it that little glow that makes the difference. Oh, and you got to go. Sorry, honey. I know, I'm going long, sorry. Oh, you get your nails done. Oh, marvellous. That's very good. And then we'll do a little bit more down here on this one. Just a little bit of light on the old mushrooms. That's good. Let's see. Get some speckly. Yep, that's working. Good. Just add some tiny little gold around the candle, I feel. Maybe some little gold dots in the foliage, just to add a little bit of extra something. There's quite a lot of gold dots going on down there, but I don't mind. We'll just balance that out with some of the gold dots down here, maybe on the spider's web. So it looks more like it's the spider's web glistening. There we go. We can pop some up here then. There we go. So, what do we think? Right, I feel like we need a few more down here now because that's feeling a bit left out. I'll just stick some more randomly everywhere. What the heck? I've got some Poscas as well, so if I wanted to, I could really make some little glowy things. Let's put a few orby things just to balance the gold. We've got white and we've got yellow. So put some now this, it will lift, it will kind of go a bit opaque. These are very runny for some reason. We've got other ones. They're very see what I'm looking for. Those ones are very pastel-y. So maybe we come in a bit brighter. That needs to get going. Come on. Start working. There we go. Yeah, this looks better. So put some, just draw some little orby things. And they'll sort of fade as they dry a little bit as well. Some of these, and then just like a little bit of Let's stick all that yellowy kind of dots coming up and out from that lantern. Just adds to that sort of glowy, the glowy bit. And add some few more white bits in here. Just lightens things up a little bit. And if you don't like it, you can always put some dark back in if you think, oh no, that's now gone too white. These are quite cool. There we go. So there's my little Halloween card. Some lovely gold elements shining in the night up here. And as I say, if you don't like that and you want to make them a bit darker again, you can just go over the top of them with your brush and you just, you know, deaden them down. So if you think, oh, actually that's gone a bit bright there. Okay, let's deaden them down again then. So there's my little Halloween card. I'm going to pop that onto a base, and because it's across the whole size of the card, I'm just going to stick that straight on the front, but because it's using a blue base, if anything kind of shows through, it doesn't look bad. Or I could put it onto a Mossy Meadow base or anything like that. So there you go. You tell a fascinating story on a card. It's so cool. I love to watch you. Oh, thanks, Lynn. That's lovely. So I'd like to say a big thank you to the girls up at Lavinia Stamps for helping me with a few of my tips and tricks, because I learnt things myself this weekend, and I love that. I love that I can still learn even after all these years. I think we can all still learn after all these years of crafting, and if you are new and you want to learn more, then come and join me over in the Card Making Know-How. I know you've got to wait for a bit to join. At the moment you can only just sign up to the waiting list, but honestly, sign up, and then as soon as it's open, we will invite you in. And it won't be long, because people are coming into the membership. That's all well and good. So I want to, I will have an exclusive opening for my people on my waiting list to come in shortly. Not going to say any more than that now. It's a surprise. So from me, here's me with my Halloween card. I hope you've enjoyed. Oh, I didn't put my stickers on. Oh, I'm going to put some stickers on, but I've gone too long. So I'll put some stickers on, and then you can see the finished result when I post it up on as a card. I'll post it up as a card on my webpage. No, Facebook page. Yes. Alrighty. Thanks ever so much. Thank you, Trisha. Trisha says gorgeous. Jane's got to go. Nice. She says nice, but she's got to go. Okay. So see you later, everyone. Thanks ever so much for watching. Take care until next time. I'll be here next week with something completely different. So come and join me next week and see what we're going to play with in November. Alrighty. Take care until now. Until then, bye-bye.